Hello everyone and welcome to today's Thought for the Day. My name's Ben Latham and I'm a member of St Peter's Parish, Halliwell, and I worship up at St Andrew's Hope Centre, Johnson Fold, and at St Peter's Church. I forgot to mention we're also joined by the legendary Dr. Babatunde. So, some of my favourite words in the Bible are quite simple. They are the words, "Here I am." And you can find them in the book of 1 Samuel in chapter 3 verses 1 to 10 and in the book of Isaiah chapter 6 verses 6 to 8. And if you want to take a moment to read them right now, that's great. Finished? Good. So, why do these words resonate so much? I often like to share the story of how I came to faith. For me, it was a complete game changer. So from about the age of 18 or 19, I'd always been involved in youth work in one form or another. But I would say that it wasn't until the age of 27 that really changed for me. Up until then, my belief was that in order to have faith, you had to understand everything first. But that wasn't the case, as I was soon to find out. At the age of 19, I'd made a deal with someone that I didn't really believe was on the other side. And this deal was along the lines of, if God is real and he calls me, then I'll know it and I will follow. So, fast forward 8 years and I have my first trip to So Survivor. I didn't really want to go, but the minister I had at the time convinced me to give it a try. Out of my comfort zone, I stepped. It was everything that my negative preconceptions had built it up to be. Well, aside from a funny guy called Mike Pilavachi, who was, like I say, pretty funny, and he had a relatively influential dress sense. Well, the funny thing was that despite everything, as the week went through, this event grew on me. And before I knew it, I felt like my understanding of faith was rapidly changing. It was becoming something new. So later in the week, given the opportunity to pray for people, as you often get the chance to do at So Survivor, I stepped right out of my comfort zone and I reached out and I prayed for one of our young people that really needed it at the time. And there was a presence with me in that moment that I can only describe as what just felt like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. In a sense, it was like when Samuel and Isaiah had said to God, "Here I am." And in this case, God had answered, and it felt like he had said, "Okay, it's time to go." The famous theologian Anselm of Canterbury is quoted as saying this: "I am not seeking to understand in order to believe, but I believe in order to understand. For this too I believe, that unless I believe, I shall not understand." And then there's another quote here from a poet called Rainer Maria Rilke: "Faith is not always the product of understanding, rather the path that so often leads us there." We are going through some unprecedented, challenging times during this COVID-19 pandemic. But what I want to say in all of this, and actually, is that my faith is something that really helps me to understand and make sense of things. And I really hope that you can find encouragement from these simple Bible verses. The truth is that the challenges in our life continue and continue. Much like Samuel and Isaiah, when they said to God, "Here I am," their challenges didn't stop. They continued. But I find comfort in words that Jesus shared at the end of the Great Commission. He sent us out. We knew we were going to have challenges. We always face challenges. But Jesus' words are this: "I will be with you always, even until the end of the age." Thanks for listening.